Of course, if you have questions or interactions, please just raise your hand, raise your voice, because the aim is really to have a good interactive meeting. What we will be covering in this webinar, and you will see we will actually organize on a monthly basis these webinars. So we will have a consistent monthly community webinar, in which we will always have also standing items. Several of those are also listed here today. So of course, the first is a welcome, and especially also a welcome to the new people that join for the first time this community and this webinar. So we'll ask you also to briefly present yourself so that we can have a good interchange of all the people that we're having within the community. We will then also put an extra focus on this exchange, and we will be presenting some new initiatives that we're having in that field in order to facilitate these exchanges. And we will have also there a dedicated channel to enable the exchange, but also to facilitate members, so the innovation hubs, the clusters as the partners, to promote their activities. So that's really the aim of this exchange channel, so that we're all aware of activities that are ongoing. From the NoBoCap side, we will have a focus on the aspect of the voice. So how, as a community, we're seeking to ensure that we have a voice in the area of the EU policy, how we can support you with having a voice towards the EU policy side, but also to have some reporting on the state of play that we're having, and we will provide the info of the Pulse report that we have in development. So this from a voice perspective. We will then have an item with regards to the services and tools. So what are the specific initiatives out of the NoBoCap projects which we're further developing? And then we will seek to have actually one partner, NoHo partner, that will present in more detail the activities, the tools that is being offered, and we'll also seek to have this done by one of the members innovation hubs clusters to have the opportunity to go more in depth of initiatives that you're taking. If we look at the community, so where are we with regards to the build out of this community? Well, I think we have in 2024 built a quite good basis of a community which is really aiming to unlock the EU regulation for innovation. We now have 26 innovation hubs clusters, which are part of the community, coming from 14 countries. So I think we're well underway to have a good representation of throughout Europe. As you notice, there are a couple of countries still lacking, and so we will, of course, reaching out also to the innovation hubs clusters in their countries. But also, if you have contacts, please don't hesitate to share the initiative that we're having, so that we further build out this community. But I think we're quite pleased with this as a basis, and so we will seek to get a little bit more, let's say, an organic growth. We will not put a focus on this. The focus in 2025 will be more to go in depth within the activities, within the supportive initiatives that are being taken both from our end, but also from your end, so that we can really strengthen the content of the community in order to provide support to our innovation ecosystem. If we're looking towards the partners, NoHo partners, there also we're quite pleased to have now 23 partners which are coming from 8 countries. It's not always the same countries. It's actually complementary in a couple of cases, which is quite interesting there as well. And so we, in that sense, also have, I think, a strong basis. Everybody that's interested, of course, can apply, but we have a good quality check scrutiny mechanism in order to ensure that those that are really partners within our community really have the know-how, the knowledge, and can really be, let's say, trusted partners to work with in order to obtain the necessary support. As indicated, what we would seek to do is to provide then also, of course, the opportunity for those that are new to quickly present yourself. If you can then give your name, your affiliation, and very high level. You could also indicate, okay, what's the work which has been done in the field of supporting the SMEs, the startups, the scale-ups, in order to unlock the medical device regulation, in vitro diagnostic regulation for innovation. What's important as well is to note that, as Diana has sent out, is a registration form. And please fill in this registration form if you're interested to also obtain the presentation, the recordings. So we will use this registration form as the basis to actually share the slides, to share the recordings. And so if you did not do yet, so please fill in the registration, and in that way secure that you have this information, which you can then actually share with the SMEs, the members, the clients that you're having. Let me stop here perhaps and ask for those that are new to quickly introduce themselves. So please, if you can raise your hand and speak up, if this is the first time that you're participating in this webinar. So I don't know if you have anybody new.
Me, Yves, I'm pretty new to this webinar. My name is Daniel Verstappen. The affiliation is that I work with Indigo Diabetes, which is a startup company in Ghent, spin-off of the University of Ghent, and we do research and we develop an implantable multi-metabolite sensor. Multi-metabolite, one of the most important things is glucose for diabetes. So we have the first trial just finished. 10 patients have been implanted in Slovenia and Ljubljana and in Belgium, in Antwerp. Results are very promising. We have made some design changes because we believe that we can do better, even better than the special controls of the US FDA. And so that's where we are. We are now scheduling and planning the second pilot study for this. That is it's one part of what I do, and the other part that I do is I'm affiliated with the Belgian political party, the Liberal Party in Belgium, and I have written an amendment to the MDR-IVDR implementation in Belgium, which has been presented for the federal parliament Christmas last year. Around Christmas last year, and has been accepted, voted and accepted in the Federal Health Committee. After that, Belgium became president for 6 months of the EU community, and a number of these amendments have been pulled now at the European level. The reason that I that I took this initiative was pure frustration with the implementation of MDR, IVDR in Europe. So,
okay, great.
In short.
Thanks, Daniel.
Please.
Then I see a hand from Andrew Gibson.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Andrew Gibson here. I'm a managing consultant at Acra Team. I lead our European operation of consultants. We support in clinical, regulatory, and quality consulting under, you probably know my CEO, Dr. Pasil Acra. So been working with them since, with Acra Team since founding in 2021. Good to meet you.
Great, thanks. Thanks for the update as well. I see Kasia.
Yves, can you stop sharing the slides? Then maybe we will.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Of speaking attendees.
Yeah. That's...
Okay, hello. My name is Katarzyna Wesołowska, or Kasia Wesołowska, and I am the CEO of MDR Regulator and Pure Clinical Company. And we are a consultancy and clinical trials companies that with our services, the client can reach all of the milestones of the product launch of medical devices and IVD launch, including preclinical studies, clinical investigations, performance studies, device certification and registration. And we can support also in the post-market services.
Great. Thanks for that update. Then I see Maya.
Hello, I'm sorry, I don't have a camera on, right? But I represent Serbia here, Health Tech Hub. It's a hub that that has a lot of stakeholders. Actually, all the kinds of stakeholders which can be collected in Serbia with health tech. I'm also one of the two owners of a small startup. We develop urinary catheter of a new generation. So I'm going through hell with that. It's very, very hard. And I'm also for over 25 years in clinical research, and I'm owner and managing director of a company named Axiom International. It's a CRO like Cassia. So, but we're in all kinds of therapeutic indications. And yes, we do a lot studies also in medical device and IVD.
Great. Yeah. So you bring a broad experience as well, and as Daniel indicated, the day-to-day a living reality. So that's great to hear. I see Ioana Petcu.
Hello. Thank
Hello,
you.
I can hear you.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you very much for the invitation. I'm Ioana Petcu. I'm a scientific researcher from National Institute for Research and Development in Informatics from Romania. We are the member of the Raw Health, and we participate also at the short course in Leuven last week.
Okay, great. So you have a first experience of the short course offering from
Yes.
the NoBoCap. Okay,
Thank you very much.
great. Thank you. We see Peter Osterhoff.
Hi,
Peter.
my name is Peter Oosterhoff. I work at the University of Twente, the TechMed Center, also representing the Digital Innovation Hub there. My work is mostly advising the researchers at the university doing research in medical technology. So getting them past the MTC, preparing them for a transfer to a spin-off. So I'm always interested in how regulations work out in other European countries relating to research.
Great. Well, thanks for joining. We have Michaela Malaskova.
Hi, I'm Michaela Malaskova. I am from Health Hub Tirol. I think this is also my first time here. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought
but it's
I would
certainly this year the first time. That was for everybody.
Yes. maybe last year I joined, but it has been very busy since. Health Hub Tirol is an initiative of the state of Tyrol, which is part of Austria, and we are supporting the startups in area of life sciences. We are providing providing them with infrastructure, with coaching, individual coaching, and also access to funding and funding program. Yeah, that's it.
Sounds great. Quite interesting also to have the financial support. It's quite interesting. Thanks for sharing that, and we'll also, of course, as indicated in the next step, build up a further channel in order to facilitate the exchanges, the interchanges, and also to share your activities. So I'm going to share the slides again if everything works out. Let's see if that's.
We still have a few people who want to talk.
Okay. Then we stop sharing. I see Flaviana her hand was hidden after my recording of the meeting here. Okay, sorry about that. Hi, Flaviana.
Yes, it's no problem. My name is Flaviana Lautaro. I'm the project coordinator of NoBoCap project, and as somebody who talked before, the first one who speak about himself said that he started something from frustration. He used frustration. I want to tell him that we also started this project from frustration because I'm an entrepreneur for 20 years, and in the last 6 years I was developing medical software, and this regulation nightmare was quite high, and we decided to learn how to do it. I also passed through all the NoBoCap modules of training, and the AI course, yes, very hard feedback, was amazing. We received so many messages about the quality of the AI course in Leuven last week, so everyone was happy. And we're gonna do it again in October, most probably in Romania. This is something that I take the chance to announce. And please enjoy our community, and this is why it was built to support the producers, and also for the funding part. We were experienced more in funding than in regulation, so also on this area we are quite experienced. And RoHealth, yes, has more than 70 SMEs willing to develop innovation. So if you are looking for partners within your project, we can help you with that also. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks, Flaviana. And indeed, thanks for the leadership of taking this NoBoCap project forward and making sure that the Commission is also continuously convinced about all the great work we're doing. So really, really appreciate it. Let me hand over to Vilma from Certica.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Vilma Benjivina. I'm representing Lithuanian company Certica. The main activities we do is certification of management systems and testing of medical devices and electrical devices. And other hand, we helps manufacturers of medical device to prepare the technical documentation. And the most exciting moment, we're seeking to get notified body status. So thank you.
Great. You have any timing on that one foreseen? Is it this year that we can celebrate?
I think so, yeah.
Great. Excellent.
In the end of this year.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Looking forward to that as well. Then I have Jesse Host from MediTrace.
I'm Jesse, from co-founder from MediTrace. It's a SaaS platform based in Ghent, in Belgium. We are helping medical device manufacturers to elevate their production, QA calibration, and compliance by bringing digital traceability to the existing workflows of our customers. Our platform integrates production planning, QA processes, calibration management, and offers real-time traceability at a very granular level with step code and QR code scanning at the machines itself. So every action on the production floor is captured in real time, which ensures full traceability and error reduction, as well as streamlined compliance with MDR regulations. So we actually help manufacturers improve efficiency and gain actually full visibility in the production cycle of a medical device. And thanks for yeah, for letting me into this community. We're looking forward to make some great connections.
Great. Thanks for that. Then I see Magda Shatsiku.
Hello. Yes, this is Magda from Pharmicon CZ Access, a health technology assessment and regulatory consultancy in UK, based in UK and Greece. Also participate from the representative of the Hellenic Digital Health Cluster. And we participate either in medical devices, in the assessment of medical devices, working with the pharmaceutical industry, and some European project now, a new one, let's say, for a biomarker for pancreas cancer. So we have the role there to design the clinical trials and see their IVDR compatible with the regulation, etc. The regulatory part.
Yeah, thanks for that. I then see Kerli Norak from Taltech.
Yes, hello. I am Kerli from Tallinn University of Technology. I am the coordinator for our Health and Food Technologies Focus Center, and we combine 40 research groups from the university that deal with any facet of health technology or food technology. We have engineers, software developers, law experts, change management, organization management experts, and we've been giving we have a master's program for 20 years already to the managers of digital health of this age. So I'm happy to be in this consortium.
Thanks for that. And then we have Kirsten.
Hi, so I'm Kirsten van Gersten. I'm from QBD Garats, which is Belgium-based consultancy company where we support medical device and IVD manufacturers basically from idea to patient. So we offer everything RA, QA, CRO services, representative services, legal and authorized reps. So we try to support them through all their projects related to IVDR and MDR. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Excellent. Well, thanks everybody for joining the community and also for giving the presentation. See if you can see the screen again. Is that working? Yeah. Okay, great. So as indicated, what we also seek to do is, of course, to have these monthly meetings, but also to have then a dedicated channel. And I'm trying to get to the next slide for this, where, as indicated, so we seek to have a monthly touch point, and it will be every third Thursday, considering a full week of days. So it will be the next will be on the 20th of March, and then afterwards it will be the 24th of April. So if you can already put it in the save the dates would be great. Who we actually seek to have at these webinars is the members innovation hubs clusters. So the representatives from the secretariat, from the hubs, also the know-how partners, knowledge partners that that applied and were accepted. But also, as we have a couple of participants, the startups, scale-ups, the SMEs that you as Innovation Hub member or as partner like to invite to have like a first-hand information of what we're actually doing within the community of the initiative. So there is also that opportunity to forward from your end to a potential interested SME startup scale up to actually participate in the webinar as well, and in that way have first-hand information. We're not using the public channel for making an awareness of this webinar, so it's not dedicated to the broad public. So it's really for the community members, partners, and and their constituency that they're having. We're planning then also a summit like last year. We're having now the planned date is the 15th and the 16th of October in this year, so in 2025, to have then the next summit of the community. At this moment, I'd like to hand over then to Diana to explain the dedicated community channel that we're having for an exchange within the community. So Diana?
Yeah, so thanks. So I'd like to bring your attention to the LinkedIn channel, NoBoCap Community Discussion Group, a space for collaboration and knowledge sharing. We have created a dedicated LinkedIn discussion group where members can stay updated on NoBoCap activities, EU initiatives, the latest insights from our pulse reports, and other relevant topics. So this is also a space to share your own initiatives, tools, and expertise in the MDR and IVDR field. I encourage all of you to subscribe today. It only takes a couple of minutes. The group will allow you to engage directly with other members and partners, stay informed, and contribute to key discussions. So please try to search NoBoCap Community Discussion Group in your LinkedIn profile, and I'll confirm you. Let's make this platform a vibrant and useful space for our community. So please please try to write the full name NoBoCap Community Discussion Group. Otherwise, it can not so easy to find. And additionally, as part of our commitment to collaboration, we are planning to have a tour the table session in our future webinars, where we invite members and partners to share their initiatives. This is a standing agenda item, so if you have something valuable to share, we'd love to hear from you. Yeah, so next slide.
Great. Yeah, let's perhaps pause for a second, Diana, just to give the people the time to really go into their LinkedIn. I would advise let's do it immediately now. If you can go into the LinkedIn, see if you can go into the NoBoCap community discussion group, just to see if it functions, and if you can connect up, that would be great. Let us know if it works. So who's the first? Who's the quickest to be able to register?
Diana, I think you can approve my request.
Yeah, but maybe I will start approving after the event, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get the approvals after the event. But let's at this moment indeed build this channel. And as indicated, if you have an activity, and we're coming at the end of this webinar back to it, if you have a specific activity, of course, specific in the area of supporting SME startups in order to overcome the challenges of the regulation, if you're planning a training, if you're planning a webinar, if you're having in your country specific government initiative, please leverage when you're communicating about it in LinkedIn. Feel free to also let us know, and then use our channel as well, so that we can actually give this then as a platform for you, or a channel for you, to inform the broader community of your initiatives as well. I think it's always good to have a good understanding of what are specific initiatives that are being done across the board, both by the innovation hubs, but also by the partners. If you as a partner setting up a course, or if you have a dedicated webinar or something, and you're promoting it via the LinkedIn, then let us know as well, so that we can also bring it in our community. Okay. So in the meantime, I suppose that the majority of you found your way into the NoBoCap community discussion group exchange channel. If there are any challenges, then feel free to reach out to Diana, to myself, or anybody else from the NoBoCap community, so we can further help you in getting into this channel. The next is then the specific activity from NoBoCap with regards to the voice. And we have two aspects there. One is a pulse report, which we are creating. And the second is, of course, the opportunity of the channel, which was also presented at the last webinar last year from the Commission side, that they have actually two initiatives. One is the evaluation, and second is a survey that's being conducted. But I'd like to hand over again to Diana to explain a little bit more on the Pulse report that we're actually developing from a NoBoCap perspective. So Diana?
Yeah, so I'd like to take a moment to introduce the Pulse report, which we are finalizing and plan to publish within the next 2 weeks. This report captures key industry insights, challenges and trends in MDR, IVDR implementation. So first I will present its essence, structure, and main findings, and later we will ask for your input. As you can see in the slide, the Pulse report analyzes how MDR and IVDR impact innovation and market access in Europe. It compiles insights from reports, NoBoCap initiatives, and industry experts. The report highlights key challenges for SMEs, startups, and scale-ups, especially in certification delays, high compliance costs, and limited access to notified bodies. These barriers slow down product approvals and decrease financial strain. But of course, the Pulse report isn't just about identifying problems. It's also about supporting solutions. So our ultimate aim is to develop the targeted tools and effective services that will guide innovators through the complex regulatory landscape, reduce the impact on innovators, and speed up and facilitate market access. So now let's look at how the report is structured. Next slide, yeah. So the report is divided into 5 key sections. First, it covers policy initiatives at EU and national levels, tracking efforts to improve MDR, IVDR compliance. Next, it examines investor perspectives, showing how regulatory uncertainty impacts funding and startups. Then we explore operational initiatives, including programs that support SMEs, notified body improvements, and EU-wide efforts to simplify certification. The report also includes recommendations from the innovation community, highlighting proposed regulatory improvements. And finally, it looks at emerging regulations such as the Artificial Intelligence Act and Health Technology Assessment Rules, which will shape the future of MedTech innovation. And now let's go through the key findings and challenges identified in the Pulse report. Next slide, please. Okay, thanks. First, the cost and timelines for conformity assessment remain a major challenge. These costs are highly variable, and access to notified bodies takes years, especially for SMEs. Second, SMEs are struggling with regulatory compliance. Our data shows that only 40% of submitted dossiers are complete, leading to financial and resource constraints. This affects market entry and slows down investments in new innovations. And next, investor confidence is impacted by regulatory complexity and unpredictability. So many investors choose to target other jurisdictions with clearer and more stable frameworks. And finally, there is a strong need to support our innovation ecosystem. We must focus on training services, matchmaking, and better regulatory predictability to ensure a smoother path for medical innovation. And next, I'll explain how we can strengthen the report with additional insights. We need your help to ensure that the report is as accurate and complete as possible. So if your country has financial aid, notified body initiatives, or regulatory support programs, we'd like to include them. Quantifiable data is especially useful. For example, how much funding is available, how many companies benefit. The more concrete the information from you we will get, the stronger the report will be. So, now let's get to the other slide about another key input about local surveys data. So if you or your organization have conducted local surveys, we encourage you to share the findings. We are looking for data on how MDR, IVDR affects innovation and market access, certification timelines, cost and challenges, the investor sentiment and funding trends. And really, these insights will strengthen the report and provide a clearer picture of what's happening across Europe. So you can contribute by sending your information via email or through the NoBoCap discussion group on LinkedIn. We ask you to share this information till February 25th, as we aim to publish the report at the beginning of March. So thank you for your input. We will be really grateful for your support in shaping a stronger and more innovation-friendly regulatory environment.
Thanks, Diana. Let me perhaps stop sharing here to see if there are any questions related towards the Pulse report. So it's really seeking to get a compilation of what's happening at an EU level, EU policy level, national policy level, looking at what is the findings from the different initiatives, the surveys. We also, of course, had a quite rich summit where a lot of information was already brought. I see Meinrad here from Medical Mountain. I mean, that's of course a type of information which we seek to compile. There is a report from a MedTech Europe, but we seek to do that specifically for the SMEs, the startups, the scale-ups, which have very specific challenges, and that's really the focus that we're having. With then, as I indicated, okay, what is being done at national level? What initiatives are there to really structural initiatives to provide the support, and in that way to also what are recommendations that are being given, so that we have this. And it will be a milestone. So this will be the first time we have a complete report. But of course, we seek to update this report on a regular basis, and in that way, somewhat keep the pulse of the status and of the challenges, but also the supportive initiatives that are taking place. I see a couple of hands up, so let's start with Miguel.
Quickly, does this content will feed the European Commission survey on the MDR, or it is parallel information, just to understand if we should submit both sides, or you'll pick on this information and submit it to the European Commission request?
No, please continue in parallel. So it's better to have multiple channels, your specific channel, specific input, but then of course we will try to pick this up in this report as well and have then it compiled. And I think it then actually brings more data, more consistent data, cross-checking, consistency in the information that can be provided. Given that from the Commission side, it's quite critical to have a data-driven policy. So, I mean, for policy changes, they're really eager to have the data. And there is a lot of information, of course. There is a lot of let's call it anecdotal, although it's more than anecdotal, local reports. I mean, all of this is available, but I think it's important to compile it and in that way apply it and also specifically on the field from the startups. What are the specific needs there? The other objective, of course, of being for you able to leverage the report is to see initiatives that some countries are doing, just to be able to indicate to your governments or internally also within the innovation hubs to see, okay, what are your initiatives that are being taken or what are your government's initiatives that are being taken or not taken. And in that way, get a type of competitiveness in there to see what are certain countries doing, certain regions doing in order to support their innovation ecosystem. But please have it a multitude of channels of input. Daniel?
Yeah, I thought I was on mute. It's a good report. I mean, the structure is, I think, what we would like to see, Diane. So I'm looking forward to the report because it's a good place to concentrate all the different initiatives and updates which make you think. That's important. Make us think and drive our initiatives, local initiatives, or whatever the initiative is, to drive it further. There are two things that I would like to bring up here is that, okay, I have a clinical background. And so what I miss a bit is the patient side of things, in the sense of all the whole of our community, and I mean quality regulatory, all of the politicians that I spoke to, none of them talked about patients, the impact that this has on patients. And we are doing it for patients. I know this. I know this for a fact, that we are working on this to improve the situations for patients. But nobody speaks about it. And there was a space, Diana, sorry, I think it's Diana. There was a place, but I just top of my head, I can't remember anymore, in your report. I think we could add a bullet point where we could talk a little bit about why we are doing this here. Because and this is my second point, don't forget that we are just the tape on the wound. We are taping the wound, we are taking care of the wound. We are not taking care of the origin of the wound, the onset of it. The onset of it is the political decisions that have been taken. And maybe, and this is very controversial, I do get that, but I'm going to throw it in here so that people can think about it. That's the most important thing that we can require from people, I think, is thinking, is that maybe in a pre-word in your report, we could put an analysis of the events that happened prior to the taping of the wound, and that it was necessary for us to tape the wound, and to make sure that this is not going to happen again. Because I do see things around me, and I'm sorry that it takes so long, but I do see things around me that does not make me feel confident that this is not going to happen again. And it is damaging, as you have made a list for so many different communities, including the patients. And I think we at some point we need to address that as well. Although I'm sure that they know this because I've been witnessing this. But I think to make your report impactful and also to show the right direction, the right way, because there are initiatives from other companies, let's call it this way, that are pushing the issue towards the medical device companies, which is not the case, which is not correct. So there's a whole lot of political game, as we know, going on. And I think from time to time, you need to be spot on and just say what you stand for. And I think the report, to structure what you showed is spot on. It's really good. I just would suggest to add two things to it. It's the patient impact of this and why we're doing this. And a second reason why we're doing this is that the whole political mess up that happened prior to the development of the MDR IVDR and the MDR IVDR introduction. I hold my voices.
Thanks, Daniel. And the aim of this Pulse report is indeed to bring this information together. So, for example, there are also reports which indicate certain areas of shortage where, due to the regulation, there is now in certain areas a shortage, pediatric, and there are reports. I mean, this type of data, which is available. Please share this if you have those reports, if you're aware of these reports. I mean, that's the aim, is to bring this together to get a good overview of what's the pulse that we're having, in order to get into a data-driven approach on this. So I mean, those inputs are certainly welcome by everybody, and let's bring them, and then we'll see how we can integrate them into the report, with the ultimate objective, of course, to ensure that there is from a policy side, there is an input given of what needs to be changed, but also that there is information towards these startups, towards the SMEs, of what initiatives that from their end might be, or from the hubs can be done. And something that might be quite interesting is to also over time make potentially a sub-analysis for those that did seek support from consultancies, and so in order to be well prepared, versus those that did not, and to see the difference. Because I mean, the fact that there is only a 40% of completeness of dossiers that are submitted, I mean, this is frightening, to see that, and it's a notified body perspective, of course, but that they actually indicate that there is such a low completeness of the reports. Now, one is, of course, the complexity in order to get the reports, but otherwise might also be that there is insufficient preparedness especially by the SME community, in order to get quality reports being submitted. But these are the type of things that we have to look into, and to see, to compile that type of information, so that we overall can ensure that the startups, the scale-ups do find a mechanism of accessibility to the notified body systems, as well as timelines which are getting into the more acceptable type of timelines, and not being really at the end of this curve where it's years before being able to get through the system. So yeah, so I think, Diana, you will share the draft report, and then please look at it, get the confirmation for it, and then seek also to provide further information, so that we can actually get a first baseline report out as a milestone, and I will continue to update this. Okay. So from a next aspect, the other channel of providing input is then also direct channels. One is the have your say. So the direct channel in the context of the evaluation of this regulation of the MDR, the IVDR. So this is something which is a requirement from the different countries, from the European Parliament to the Commission, to actually do the evaluation of the impact of the regulation, but also to have this done earlier than originally foreseen. And so this is then, I think, a key channel for input. And it's open until the 21st of March, where there is a web-based questionnaire, but also the opportunity to provide an open type of information. So if you have reports, if you have input, please leverage this channel. It's a direct channel that then goes into the evaluation of the medical device regulation, in vitro diagnostic regulation. The other continuous activity which is taking place is a survey, and this is then specifically for the companies, for the manufacturers, for authorized representatives, importers, distributors, to provide an input on the impact that the regulation is having. And so it's a structured survey which is then translated into a dashboard reports. This is being done towards notified bodies, and this is also then, in this case, the second one is being done now to the manufacturers and the authorized representatives. So again, will be great if you could ask your startups, your SMEs to actually provide input, because that's the strongest voice that we can have, is really to have the direct input. I'd like to turn over then to the backbone services that we're doing from a NoBoCap project perspective. And so, as indicated, there is the educational aspect, or the short courses which were just mentioned, but we have a new one which actually brings things together, and to have a single point of contact, or a single point of becoming aware of what it is that we're doing within the NoBoCap project. And so I'd like to hand over to Luminita to present what we have been developing in that regard. So Luminita.
Hello. As Yves already mentioned, this NoBoCap environment represents a platform, a virtual space, providing access to all the NoBoCap services and tools, which are meant to help unlock the MDR/IVDR regulation for innovation. It is accessible through a single sign-on, and it is designed to connect and support innovators, professionals, and organizations, part of the innovations ecosystem. If you can move to the next slide, I'm going to show you a short presentation of the steps you should follow in order to access all these resources. The first one would be the registration step. I can show you now on this image. It's just a simple print screen, but I also invited my colleague from the technical team if we want to have a small demonstration. Let me first present the slides I prepared, and then probably we could have this demonstration to be more practical. So first, you should provide the minimum information required, such as name, address, email address, password, gender, and country. So this is the first step to register. You can see the fields of the form. This is the actual form available in the environment. It's not a mock-up. If we move to the next slide, The second step within the registration process would be to select the user type. This is a very important step. And in order to see what sections are available for each user type, you can check the image in the right. I put on this presentation. This is why it should be better to see a small demonstration. But it's easy to understand that for each user type, you have certain services available. The services are part of this NoBoCap environment. So this is an example for market operator. The services available are NoBoCap project video, NoBoCap e-guide, NoBoCap matchmaking innovation, postgraduate courses, and short courses section. After you decide what type of user you are, you press register, and you can use the NoBoCap environment. You can move to the next slide. Thank you. Now that you entered the NoBoCap environment, you can navigate through all the sections, which are the ones on the left, the matchmaking, the e-tool, the job board, the long courses, the short courses, the NoBoCap community, and presentation video we updated to show at every point all the services available. In this step, you can watch presentations for each of these tools, no matter what sections you have access or not. So you have access to all the sections in order to see what it is about. Then, according to your profile, user profile, you can go in depth, and now you can move to the next slide and try the tools. You have a button on each of these sections allowing you to connect to the tools available. We intended to offer to all the user types the access to the e-tool, which is a valuable tool for everybody who wants to educate, to understand, to be guided through regulations. I think you will see more about this from Heike. I think he's also invited to present a bit about this e-tool. But besides this e-tool, you can access matchmaking, job board according to your interest. If you are looking for a job, you can access the job board. If you are a market operator trying to do a matchmaking to see what medical device you can certify with what notified bodies, you can access this matchmaking tool. Or if you want to register to the courses, we already implemented a form for the postgraduate. The registration was made through the platform to the session organized this February. So this section also functions as a support tool. Would you like to see a small presentation? Do we have the time, Eve, to invite Mihai to show us the platform?
We can certainly get a couple of minutes to do that. I think also important to note for the people that you can get access and in order to get registered. So while Mihai is presenting, feel free to go into the portal NoBoCap EU, and in that way you can already register and get it live as well while he's presenting. Should I stop sharing?
Let me just do this invitation to the participants of the webinar to also help us with their opinions, ideas, or feedback. On the email you can see on this slide, we also prepared a PDF. We will put on this chat the PDF you can download and have a guide for this process, registration and navigation through the environment. And there you can also find this contact address to provide your feedback and anything you would like to share. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Luminita. And then I'd like to hand over to Mihai for a couple of minutes just to guide us through. And then, as indicated, in the meantime, feel free to go to the portal and register, and so you can see it yourself live as well. Mihai, over to you.
Okay, thank you. This is the environment landing page. This is the home page of portal NoBoCap, as Eve mentioned. Here you can either log in or register. You already see the register form. It was presented by Luminita. But I will show you live the user type section because it's one of the most important steps in this registration. So here you see all the types of user that can be used to access the platform. We try to add as many services as possible for each of these types of users, but sometimes the profile of a user exclude the access to some services. The notify body, for instance, have access to these services. And if we choose, let's see, the trainee, see, the number are shorter because they don't need to have access to matchmaking service. I already have some users created, some test users created, so I will log in with, let's see, I don't know, market operator. Let's see. Okay, so after login, you will see all the services available, a very short description on each of these cards. And if you choose any of these services available here, you will be redirected to the service page. Let's say e-guided tool. See this. The next page is it contains a description of the service, short movie, short video, and if you want to access the actual service, you have to press the associated button. By pressing this button, you will be redirected to the service itself. And each of these services have the same description pages. And so on. The difference is that if you access the registration, the course registration page, some users may not have access to the registration courses because they represent a company, not a user that can access the course. As a market operator, I think market operator has access to the registration course, and here you can register yourself to one of these 3 modules of the course.
Okay, great. So thanks, Mihai. Any questions to Mihai at this stage? I see Magda. Go ahead.
Yes, just a question. Why you have put hurdles, let's say, or non-access to specific profiles? Why don't you leave the platform open so anyone can have access on the place or the seminar or whatever he wants to read? Sometimes I might need to have to read, I don't know, a special section, which is not maybe from your profiling, from something that it is hidden for me, although it shouldn't have been hidden, because maybe I would like to access that specific information that you think it's not addressed to me, although I would like to have this kind of information.
Well, actually, there is no restriction to see each of these services. The description of services are available, but the service itself is available on only to certain types of users, because each service has a specific user profile, a user type profile, let's say. So think of the system as a bunch of users that access it, but if you want to access a specific service, you have to add much more details about the company that you represent, about the devices, if it is a market operator. So in order
to explain also, I mean, if you're entering, for example, a service of matchmaking, and you as a company, you want to move into a secured environment, and that environment is not somebody that everybody could look into, or that every a notified body could get access to. So there is at that in certain areas, it's a confidential information that you're going to share, and that's of course need to secure that that's somewhat protected.
Matchmaking, I understand it, but for the rest, when we're talking about OpenAI, open data, and when Commission asks everything open access, okay.
Yeah, no, that's why we of course have this single sign up.
I wanted to share that.
No, that's a fair point, and if you notice that there are some limitations to it which you don't feel are justified, just let us know. Then we make sure that those services are also made more accessible. It's only to secure that when you enter into more areas of where you're going to share confidential information, that's not everybody is going to go in there and start playing with it. Because then if you go for matchmaking, you only have really dedicated companies that need to be able to get in there, not everybody that wants to play and make an own account and do a fictive type of product. I mean, so that's why we want to separate these aspects. But please let us know if it is too restrictive. I mean, input is certainly more than welcome, and as Lumnita indicated, also provide that feedback. That's why we want to have this community, so that's of interest. What we try to do is to also have now a single entry point, because previously you had for one course an entry point, from another one. So now we only have all together into one, and then from there you can have a look. Okay, I see you get already good support as well from other community members. That's great. Okay, any final points from your end, Mihai?
I would like to add something. If you want to use a service that is not available to the current user, type of user, you may create another account and choose the user type that you would like to be in order to access the limited service from the previous type of users. So you have to create another account with other type of users to access some other sections of the platform.
But in that case, if we notice that, then it's clear that we're too restrictive. If you need multiple, then yeah. But let's give it a try. So it's a starting point. Please try it. Please share it also with your members, clients, SMEs, because it's aimed also for them to be aware, and let's in that way make it something active, and in that way have good access to the different services. Okay. I'll have to close this part here, but it's great to see the interaction on it, and thanks Luminita and Mihai for the input.
You're welcome. Thank you all for your involvement and for your feedback. I also added in the chat the PDF I told you about. You can all download it and use it to guide you in these steps that we presented. Thank you.
So thanks, and then to finish up, as indicated, we will have a dedicated section for a partner, and then a dedicated section for an innovation hub cluster, in order to go a little bit more in detail of a specific offering. So for the innovation hubs and partners, please let us know. I mean, if you the next session have something that you want to bring in more depth of activities that you're doing, you're planning, so that we can also include that. But we've already asked now from a partner perspective, one of the partners to present a new tool, which is I think of quite high interest, which is complementary to the work that's being done by NoBoCap. So it's really complementary to NoBoCap. And so I'd like to hand over to Heikki from Lean Entries to present of what he has been or Lean Entries has been working on. And Heikki.
Thank you, Yves. And I hope you all can hear me, and I will soon share my screen as well. So let's make sure I have the opportunity. And it's great to be here. It's great to see you all, and to say a few words about Lean Entries before I go into my presentation. It would be great to again show the e-tool or the e-guided tool we provide for the NoBoCap, but and this is that one here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Sorry.
I think sure. But I think that one has been presented in the previous meetings. So let's leave it for the later. If there is a need, I will absolutely introduce you to this one also in an upcoming NoBoCap meetings. But I was requested to present us as a community partner, and in that regard, as Yves described, we're doing a lot more than that. We're building tools, for example, to the AI Act, the Data Act, and now ongoing for the EHDS regulation. And to give a little bit more of background, we are part of a larger group of companies that is called Orivia. Nowadays, the name has changed. It used to be Lab Quality. And this new company, Orivia, we have somewhat 150 quality, regulatory, and clinical research professionals in 4 countries, in Finland, Sweden, Poland, and Germany nowadays. That's the background. And Lean Entries is the digital sandbox. And if you go to the previous slide, just quickly, Yves, to explain, indeed, this is the tool we've created in that digital sandbox for NoBoCap. So when you dive in through the systems that Mihai just presented, you will encounter this view, and you can go ahead and navigate the notified body codes, the MDR and IVDR codes. And Yves, go ahead and step on to the next one. But since we all know, and like Daniel also highlighted, there's a lot that needs to be patched. We are the plaster cast, if you like. And there has been so much blunders in the past just to make MDR and IVDR so humongous. I think it was a great mistake. We who worked at notified bodies at that time, we recognized that there's not going to be those resources or those guidance documents or implementing acts in any near future to really make the MDR and IVDR work. And the politicians were just too spooked with the few scandals that appeared, and the mechanisms we should have put in place should have been much more lighter. But now here we are, and now we talk about the AI Act as well, and we talk about a lot of the regulation on digital and data in Europe. And now we are, I think, putting it into somewhat of a halt, and that's a very positive note, I think. But the AI Act is there already, the Data Act is there, and a lot more is there already in place, and they are not going to be demolished, at least completely. But these are something we need to understand to live with, and they also have good cause, but they are kind of giants in this area. So we had joint action put in place regarding these 3 regulations as a pilot, and the parties you see on this slide have been involved. So it would be the Finnish Innovation Fund Sitra that takes the chair, and the Technology Industries of Finland, because these 2 acts, AI Act and Data Act, not only affect health tech, but other sectors too. And then Health Tech Finland is involved, and Danish Life Science Cluster, with whom we've done a lot of collaboration in the past, created new tools as well, and 2 EDIHs. And through the fact that these EDIHs are involved, we also want to introduce these tools to all of Europe for SMEs and the public sector, because the functioning format of the European Digital Innovation Hubs is that they distribute whatever they have to every other EDIH. And the point is to really spread out those tools for all SMEs, all public sector to benefit from. Then there's the Finnish Startup Community, and Business Finland monitors what we're up to. And Eve, the next slide, please. So what does this joint action deliver? Naturally, we are the vehicle. We are the digital sandbox to deliver something. And now it's about these 3 regulations. As said, the EHDS regulations is still upcoming. So we have a model that we are working on, but since it is not a published regulation, we still are waiting for it to come up, and it will take a month or 2 for us to update the service. And these new tools complement what we're already done as tools for the MDR and the IVDR, including the eGuide tool for the NoBoCap. And a note before I go and demonstrate these tools, the new ones, is that they are really free of charge. And there's the link, but also if you cannot press that in Zoom here, you can go ahead to leanentries.com and press articles, and the first one on top, there's access information and a little bit of background as well to this joint action. And the point really is to create these tools to enable SMEs and other parties to make informed decisions based in minutes. We really want to say regarding these new regulations and also the MDR and IVDR. And this, where we have focused a lot on innovators, and we work with universities and hubs in the Nordics, especially in the Netherlands. Now with the AI Act, with Data Act and others, it's also a matter of who's the data holder, or who might be the deployer of the AI system in the hospital, for example. So these parties will also need to understand their responsibilities in relation to the regulation, much more than the MDR require or the IVDR require. And when you go the full cycle, actually the innovators will also need to understand what their clients are required to take as deployers of AI, for example. So this tool benefits multiple parties in this game from multiple sites. And regarding the joint action, whoever now subscribes into these tools, and again, you need to subscribe, we will be asking for your feedback during the second half of 25. And these tools will be free of charge to use until the end of 25. By then, we will figure out where they are resided and how to benefit from them after. So now let me share my screen.
I think, Heikki, we have like 2-3 more minutes just to end up. So I think the people can go in afterwards and and try it out.
Hands-on.
But
I will
great,
just
But
show a little bit.
if you give an initial indication, would be great.
Yeah. So this would be the AI Act tool. If you ever come to entries, the functionalities are quite the same. So here you are. You have the terminology to tap on, and everything that is based on the regulation, and that is pretty much everything here is completely referenced clause by clause here. So you can also take those. These are links to take you to the EURELEX website to follow on and read it yourself. Or you are provided with the guidelines that are from the recitals, or the new guidelines that we have already put into the system. Not fully, because it was a lot of information again, but we're in the middle of updating our service to put in more guidelines from the Commission. So let's say you're an AI system, just to give you a little bit of a hint how it works. You move ahead. There are some specifics here, but I will just step further, saying no, none of these. You might be the provider here. As said, you might be the deployer if you're a hospital, and you move on accordingly, getting also conclusions like this one to tell what did you just come up with by answering these questions. And on you go to define if you are a prohibited AI system. You go through several sections to land on information regarding if it's a high risk or low risk and what to do then next. So maybe I just stop my presentation here. With a quick note, I'll show that the EU Data Act tool is in a beta stage. But if you're curious, you also have access to this one with the same subscription. That goes through a lot of the items that is really related to IoT, also relevant for medical devices in some instances. And the tools we've developed earlier with, for example, the Danish Life Science Cluster, a regulatory journey to take you through these principles, and they are interlinked. So if you land on the topic of AI here, you can then browse the tool regarding AI Act in another window of your browser. But now, Eve, please, can you stop? Oh, sorry, I can stop my sharing, but can you upload the presentation? And to summarize these tools, what you get as a final report. Next slide. I believe there are 4 slides here. Yep. So this would be the beginning of a final report that happened to be 17 pages in this instance. So this would personalize your activities in relation to the AI Act based on what you answered. The next slide, please. As an example, your risk class according to Annex 1 of the AI Act and Annex 3, because in Annex 1 you were an MDR product that is a higher class that requires a notified body. So this applies. And Annex 3, you said you're an emotion recognition system, although not prohibited type, then that's double high risk. And now, Eve, the next slide, please. And lots of things about the technical documentation, some standards that we recommend you to apply. And the last one, please. A lot of what you need to comply with that is related to AI. Transparency, for example, human oversight. This is just to summarize your requirements personalized from the AI Act. So that would be, and taking into account the MDR if that happened to take place. So this would be the kind of model that we are building, and we are also seeking new consortiums where to work in and looking closely with the IHI calls that are now ongoing. So if you are involved with any and you'd like to do a little bit of a sidekick, creating new tools, please let us know. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Heikki. And I think it's quite interesting to see these complementary developments within the context of these new regulations, and again a great learning opportunity for within the community. And thanks for sharing, and also
absolutely
from the joint action to make this freely available till the end of the year. I think it's a unique opportunity for everybody to get familiar also with these new regulations. Any questions related towards what Heike just presented?
Well, very interesting. Let's put it this way. I'm going to explore this in and out. That's for sure. That's one thing. The second question that I had actually was, what is the legal status of this? Let's say that we would apply this for one of the startups. It's a type of advice, what I understand that
It's
you
advice.
provide.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is exactly what it is. So
that's exactly what it is. Advice.
Okay.
And we take no responsibility at all. So that's what we say also at the end results in the final report, the latest.
That's what I thought.
And
that's what I thought. I just wanted to hear it from you that you indeed.
And it requires the experts to be involved anyway. We all know how difficult regulatory is, but this should provide the steep learning curve and get the early understanding of the risks that you bear if you are in these fields.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And the AI term that you are using is the AI term as defined by the Act.
Exactly.
Machine learning and so
Precisely.
on.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you.
Any further questions or comments?
Cheers.
So if not, thanks Heike, and this brings us also towards the end of the webinar of today, as indicated. So we're planning the next one on the 20th of March. If you as a NoHo partner also want to say, okay, I'd like to get like an opportunity to go a little bit more in depth of the offerings that we're doing and specific initiatives that you have, please let us know so we can actually fill the slots over the year. Then also from the Community Innovation Hub side, I mean, if you have new offerings, new reports, new tools that you like to share to the whole community, to your colleagues, then please let us know also that we can provide you a slot. And then I just like to open for the last minute the floor if anybody has any final points, comments to make. If not, then go ahead,
Magda. I don't want to open another discussion, just to say that also guidance is needed for CE marking, which is the step afterwards, but also there a guidance might be very useful, because we see that there is a gap, especially for universities that have started new technologies, etc., set up new technologies. It would be good to have also guidance in the CE marking process. Just that.
If I can answer to you, NoBoCap project developed some long-term courses which are at the master level. And TU Dublin provides these training programs. And starting with this year, also the University of Medicine and Pharmacy from Târgu Mureș, Romania, provides this training as a master program here in Romania. But being under Bologna process, so the programs are how to say, recognized at the European level.
Thank you.
Yeah, I see that Miguel is planning also to launch a digital tool in support of that. So that's really what's great about this community, to exchange this and to see, okay, that's coming, so you can leverage it immediately. So that's really the whole objective that we're having. And I see Miguel is putting a couple of links there, so please feel free to leverage those and also to further exchange, and that's why we have done also this new channel. So please register to the discussion group, have these opportunities of exchange, but also get into direct contact. That's really what we're seeking to do. So thank you very much, everybody, for participating, for joining. I hope it was valuable to you. It's of course a starting point. As indicated, we like this year to go really get into closer contact, closer exchange, really deepen out this community and capitalize on this. And at the same moment, also make sure that we give a stronger voice of the current situation, but also the needs and the initiatives that that we can. So I'd also like to thank, of course, Diana, Luminetta, and Heike for the presentations on this, and everybody wishing a great continuation of the day. And please provide some of your input, considerations, feedback, so that we can further get good pulse reports, get tools, and access to those tools as well. So thanks everybody, and have a great continuation of the day. Talk to you later. Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.